Caesar and Pompey were once best friends. They fought together in many battles and were considered a great duo. There were civil wars happening all over the place, and the Senate had no idea how to stop them. The two most powerful men in Rome, Caesar and Pompey, had also fallen out with each other and were preparing for a showdown. They were tired of the fighting, and they wanted the war to be over. It was a decisive victory for Caesar. Pompey was forced to flee to Egypt. He underestimated his enemy, overestimated his own strength, and he chose the wrong battlefield. But these mistakes were not just his own. They were also the result of the breakdown of the Roman Republic. The corruption and inefficiency of the Senate had made it impossible for Rome to function. The Civil War was not just a fight between two friends. It was a fight between two completely different systems of government. In the end, it was Caesar who won, but it was the beginning of the end for the Roman Republic. When Pompey arrived in Alexandria, he was arrested and executed at the orders of the Egyptian king. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more historical tales. Thanks for watching. With Pompey's death, the war was over. Caesar had won, so when Caesar offered Pompey's supporters a chance to defect without being punished, most of them took it. This left Pompey with only a small, loyal army. It wasn't enough to win the war. Caesar was in Gaul, having just conquered it, and was preparing an invasion of Germania, but he needed the Senate's approval to raise an army. Pompey, on the other hand, was in Rome and had control of the Senate. He didn't want Caesar to get any more power than he already had, so he refused to give him permission. This was the last straw for Caesar. He had been fighting for the Roman Republic his whole life, and now it was being held hostage by a corrupt Senate. So he decided to take matters into his own hands. He raised an army anyway and marched on Rome. Pompey was forced to flee to Greece with his army. This was the start of the Civil War. But then they fell out of love and turned against each other. So why did they go to war? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. It was the year 49 BC and the Roman Republic was in turmoil. Pompey was a great general, but he had made some serious tactical errors during the Civil War. First, he had underestimated Caesar's army. He thought that Caesar would be easy to defeat, but he was wrong. Caesar's army was battle-hardened from years of fighting, and they were led by some of the best generals in Rome. Second, he had overestimated his own army. He thought that he had the support of the Senate and the people of Rome, but he was wrong again. Many senators were secretly in favor of Caesar, and the people of Rome were tired of the Civil War. Finally, he had made a fatal mistake in choosing his battlefield. He thought that he could beat Caesar in a direct confrontation, but he was wrong one last time. Caesar was a master of logistics, and he was able to supply his army even in the middle of enemy territory. As the war dragged on, it became clear that Pompey was losing the support of the Roman people. In 48 BC, Caesar's forces met Pompey's at the Battle of Pharsalus in Greece. But the question is, why did this happen? Why did Pompey lose the Civil War? Well, it's because he made some serious mistakes. So what do you think? Was Pompey's defeat inevitable? Let me know in the comments below.